on this Thursday. Aren't you? Aren't you glad? So happy it's Thursday, right? Well, as I'm walking around here in northern Israel with an abundance of uh, rockets having flown around earlier in the day and even now, not very far from here. And well, right now it's quiet here. I've been looking at the Bitcoin chart a little earlier and saw, of course, that it remains in a trending move on the daily time frame. What does that mean for you if you happen to be trading Bitcoin today? Well, one thing, if it's in a trending move, that's a very strong thing, especially on a daily time frame, right? It's been a trending move now for a good little number of days, and it remains in a trending move. Right? So it started to give some indications it was starting to maybe start to slope off, but lo and behold, the entropy started to kick back in, and we got a trending move again, with correlation currently increasing to the upside and expanding. And so it's positive, increasing, expanding correlation, trending move, expanding slightly. So that means for now, the likelihood is a day that will end to the upside. The direction predictor is also looking to the upside. And overall, it's looking up for now. However, if you look at the daily AVRs, you'll see it's a little bit mixed, and variance as well. So obviously on lower time frames is where you'll see any changes happen. It certainly could happen. It could end up with a day to the downside. It really depends on what's going to happen on the lower time frames. When you look down at the 4 hour and the 90 minute, 33 and the 30 and the 15 and so on, you get a really good sense of what's going on in each time frame. But so far it's looking pretty good so far on the day. Obviously we don't trade high time frames like the daily when we are intraday scalpers. But if you are a long-term holder, well, it's looking pretty good for now. Now, what does that mean? What is it going to do next? Is it going to run up to 95K? Is it going to run up to 100K this week, next week? Look, there are certainly probabilities that it might. Right? But now that the weekly time frame has completed the mean reversion to the 3012 RMLR, it's a matter of, on that high time frame, of what's it going to do. Is it going to continue to distribute to the upside, or is it going to pull back a little and mean revert back to the 1110 RMLR on the weekly? And it certainly doesn't have to, but there's definitely a probability that it will. If it continues to pump up, it will be approaching the 1110 RMLR's third standard deviation band to the upside on the 7-day, in which case that would be an interesting area, because once it stops hitting that band, you know what's happening. Right after a couple weeks of it, you have a very high probability it'll be in mean reversion to that 1110 RMLR, with probably the 3012 RMLR along the way as well. So for now, yes, it does look overall, if you look at the big picture, like it's going to continue, week by week for now, moving towards the upside. Doesn't mean it has to, but the probabilities do favor it right now. There are always probabilities in both directions. Hi, how are you? I'm okay. How are you? Hi, I'm good to see you. It certainly could continue to the upside. That is what the probabilities are saying are likely to happen. But on the lower time frames, daily and below that, yeah, the daily is looking good for now. As you break down, go down to the 4 hour, it's It's on a random walk on the 4 hour. So be careful, because even though it's in a trending move on the daily, if the 4 hours on a full on random walk, well, it can certainly start making moves that people aren't expecting if they're looking at the 4 hour. Below that, you got the 90 minute, the 33 minute, all those are giving you very nice scalping indications, or intraday trading indications to both sides, actually. If you're down like a 15 minute, there's been some nice moves. It's certainly a trending day overall, because in terms of the central daily range of the VRE, it's fairly tight at around 0.5% of the asset's value. So that makes it a trending day, most probably. And we've seen already a little bit of a trending move on the 15-minute time frame. And it's likely we'll see more as we come into the hour and minutes of the run up to traditional market open. And that means that, be prepared to see some nice trading action within the next couple hours, hour and a half or so, to whatever, by the time the bell rings and shortly thereafter, which is something that happens during the Alpha Trading live stream, which starts at 9 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. So you can join in there and watch it for yourself live and in real time, on the charts. See Dixie and SPY and gold and Bitcoin and Litecoin and Solana, whatever else is covered. Anyway, that'll do it for now. Just want to give you guys a quick update. I'll be back in a little bit to talk about something else. All right, happy trading. See ya.